Women who look younger possess a special spiritual quality. Women who look younger carry more than just a physical charm. They possess a rare spiritual quality that radiates from within. Their youthfulness begins in the heart, with a spirit nourished by joy, gratitude, and inner peace. Unlike fleeting beauty that fades with time, their vibrance comes from letting go of bitterness, forgiving easily, and freeing themselves from the weight of resentment. This emotional liberation softens their features, lights up their eyes, and makes their presence inviting and warm. They approach life with curiosity and wonder, keeping their soul alive and open to growth, new experiences, and the beauty of the world around them. Alignment with purpose and authenticity shapes their every action, creating a magnetic energy that transcends age. When women live in harmony with their values, passions, and intuition, a natural glow emerges that no cosmetic can imitate. Most importantly, their joy is contagious. It elevates others, reflects in their laughter, and nourishes their own spirit, sustaining their vitality. True youthfulness is not measured in years, but in the vibrancy of the soul, the lightness of the heart, and the depth of the spirit. Women who cultivate these qualities carry a timeless energy that inspires, uplifts, and reminds us that the essence of youth is ultimately spiritual. This is the secret of youthful women. A spiritual quality that transcends age. Women who appear younger than their years are often admired for their beauty, charm, and vitality. But what sets them apart is rarely something cosmetic. Their true secret lies in a rare spiritual quality that radiates from within. Youthfulness, in its deepest sense, is not merely about skin tightness or the absence of wrinkles. It is a reflection of the soul, a glow that emerges when a woman nurtures her inner life, cultivates joy, and aligns herself with purpose. This spiritual vibrancy manifests in energy, posture, and presence, creating an aura that feels warm, inviting, and timeless. The foundation of this inner youthfulness is peace. Women who look and feel younger have learned to maintain calm in a chaotic world. They do not allow external circumstances to dictate their mood or identity. Instead, they cultivate serenity through practices of reflection, prayer, meditation, or simple moments of gratitude. This peace is visible in the softness of their expressions, the steadiness of their gaze, and the confidence in their steps. When the spirit is calm, the body follows and vitality naturally thrives. Another defining quality is freedom from bitterness. Women who retain their youthful essence are deliberate in letting go of resentment, envy, or anger. They understand that holding on to negative emotions weighs heavily on the soul and shows on the face. A heart burdened by grudges ages faster, while a heart that forgives and releases is lighter, more radiant, and more attractive. The ability to forgive is not only a moral or spiritual exercise, it is a physical one, reflected in smoother expressions, brighter eyes, and an overall sense of ease that others instinctively notice and are drawn to. Curiosity and wonder are also essential ingredients of their timeless quality. These women approach life with an open heart and an eager mind, always ready to learn, explore, and experience the beauty of the world. Their youthfulness is reinforced by their engagement with life itself. They see every day as an opportunity for growth, connection, and discovery. This mindset keeps the spirit vibrant and energetic, creating an unmistakable aura of freshness and vitality that no external treatment can replicate. Authenticity is another hallmark of women who carry this spiritual quality. They live in alignment with their values, intuition, and purpose. They do not conform merely to social expectations or chase superficial ideals. Instead, they honor their true selves in thought, word, and action. This alignment generates a magnetic energy that transcends age. When a woman acts in harmony with her deepest self, her confidence shines naturally, and she exudes a glow that feels genuine, irresistible, and profoundly youthful. Joyful presence is equally transformative. Women who retain their youthful energy are often those who cultivate happiness from the inside out. They smile easily, laugh fully, and find delight in the small moments of life. Their joy is not dependent on circumstances, it is cultivated and chosen daily. This positive energy feeds the body as much as it feeds the soul, helping them maintain vitality, resilience, and attractiveness. People naturally gravitate toward their warmth and optimism, which, in turn, reinforces their own sense of youth and purpose. Moreover, these women understand the importance of nurturing their spiritual life. They connect with something greater than themselves, whether through faith, nature, meditation, or service. This connection grounds them, provides perspective, and sustains them through life's challenges. A soul that is nurtured spiritually does not age in the same way as one that is neglected. It retains a vibrancy that radiates outward, creating a sense of timeless beauty that captivates everyone around them. Even their relationships reflect this quality. Women with this inner glow tend to surround themselves with positivity and love. They are discerning about the people they allow into their lives, favoring connections that uplift rather than drain. By protecting their emotional energy, they maintain clarity, peace, and joy, qualities that directly influence both appearance and aura. The energy of the soul is contagious, and others feel the vitality and serenity that these women carry. In essence, the secret to looking younger is not a matter of cosmetics, fashion, or age-defying procedures. It is the cultivation of the spirit. It is about nurturing peace, practicing forgiveness, embracing curiosity, living authentically, radiating joy, and connecting with a higher purpose. These spiritual practices create a resonance that transcends physical appearance, leaving a lasting impression of vitality and grace. Women who embody these qualities are not only timeless in appearance, but also in influence, inspiration, and presence. Ultimately, youth is less about the body and more about the soul. A vibrant spirit, a joyful heart, and an authentic life are the true sources of lasting beauty. Women who cultivate these qualities shine from the inside out, and their glow is unmistakable. Their age becomes irrelevant because the energy they emit tells a story of life well lived, spirit well nurtured, and a heart that has chosen light over darkness. The world takes notice, not because of superficial measures of beauty, but because these women exemplify what it means to live fully, joyfully, and spiritually aligned. This is how God speaks to you, recognizing the signs in your life. Life is full of moments that seem ordinary at first glance, yet often carry divine messages if we are willing to see them. Women and men who live with awareness understand that God communicates constantly, guiding us through gentle whispers, coincidences, and moments of clarity. Recognizing these signs requires more than observation. It demands discernment, spiritual attentiveness, and an open heart ready to receive guidance. This awareness is a skill that transforms everyday experiences into a map for our lives, revealing purpose, direction, and reassurance in ways that often surpass human understanding. One of the most common ways God speaks is through intuition. That subtle inner voice, the gentle nudge that steers us towards certain decisions or warns us against specific paths, is often overlooked. People who ignore this divine prompt sometimes find themselves facing unnecessary challenges. Conversely, those who honor their inner guidance notice a flow in life that feels aligned and effortless. Learning to trust this inner wisdom is a crucial step in discerning God's signs. It is not always loud or dramatic. Often, it is quiet, persistent in subtle ways that require reflection to understand fully. Another way God communicates is through circumstances and events. Life has a remarkable way of presenting lessons, doors, and opportunities precisely when we need them. Sometimes, these appear as chance encounters or unexpected challenges that, on the surface, seem random. Yet, when viewed with discernment, they reveal patterns, lessons, and confirmations of God's guidance. Recognizing these signs requires patience and attentiveness, observing not only what happens but how these events affect your growth, decisions, and inner peace. When we cultivate awareness, even ordinary days are filled with extraordinary revelations. God also speaks through people. Friends, strangers, mentors, and even casual acquaintances can be vessels of divine insight. Words of encouragement, timely advice, or gentle correction may appear at the exact moment we need them. Paying attention to the people who cross our paths and being open to their messages helps us recognize God's presence in everyday interactions. Often, these signs are reinforced when multiple sources converge on the same lesson or confirmation, creating a sense of clarity that cannot be ignored. Dreams, visions, and moments of deep reflection are another avenue through which divine guidance manifests. Many who are spiritually attuned report insights during quiet moments, meditation, or prayer. These experiences often bring clarity to complex decisions or provide comfort during periods of uncertainty. While not every dream or thought carries meaning, those that leave a lasting impression, inspire action, or bring peace are often messages meant to guide our spiritual journey. Keeping a journal of such moments can help identify patterns, reinforcing understanding and helping us connect the dots between the spiritual and the material world. Nature itself can serve as a messenger. The serenity of a sunrise, the unexpected encounter with wildlife, or the simple beauty of a flower can trigger moments of reflection that feel divinely orchestrated. These moments remind us of the interconnectedness of life and the constant presence of a higher power. Paying attention to these seemingly small details trains the mind and spirit to notice God's subtle interventions, fostering gratitude, humility, and trust in the divine plan. Recognizing God's signs also requires discernment. Not every coincidence, feeling, or message is a direct sign. Spiritual maturity involves learning to differentiate between wishful thinking and true guidance. Signs from God often bring clarity, peace, and alignment rather than fear or confusion. They resonate deeply, creating an inner sense of knowing that cannot be ignored. Over time, consistent reflection, prayer, and openness sharpen this discernment, allowing individuals to navigate life with greater confidence and spiritual insight. Faith plays a vital role in this process. Belief in God's guidance primes the heart to notice His signs. Doubt can cloud perception, while trust opens the mind to the subtle ways divine messages arrive. Spiritual practices such as prayer, meditation, and reflection enhance sensitivity, allowing individuals to perceive guidance more clearly and respond appropriately. The more we cultivate faith, the more we recognize that life is not a series of random events but a tapestry of divine orchestration, with signs woven throughout. Equally important is action. Recognizing a sign is only the first step. Responding to it is where faith is tested and strengthened. Acting on divine guidance, even when it challenges comfort or expectation, builds spiritual resilience and confirms our connection with God. Over time, this responsiveness nurtures a life that flows in alignment with purpose, bringing fulfillment, clarity, and the reassurance that we are never alone in our journey. In conclusion, recognizing the signs of God in your life is a practice of awareness, discernment, and faith. It involves tuning into intuition, observing circumstances, learning from people, reflecting on dreams and visions, and appreciating the messages found in nature. It demands patience, attentiveness, and openness to divine guidance. When we cultivate these habits, everyday life becomes a canvas on which God communicates, offering reassurance, direction, and spiritual growth. Those who embrace this practice experience a sense of alignment, inner peace, and vitality that transcends ordinary understanding, realizing that every moment, no matter how small, can be a direct encounter with the divine. This is how to trust your gut. Making hard decisions with confidence. Life often presents moments where decisions are not easy, where the stakes feel high, and the options seem equally compelling. In these moments, logic alone may not provide clarity. This is when learning to trust your gut, your inner intuition, becomes essential. Gut feelings are more than fleeting thoughts. They are a connection between your mind, heart, and spirit, guiding you toward choices aligned with your true path. Women and men who cultivate this skill learn that the body often senses truth before the mind fully comprehends it, and acknowledging these inner signals can be life-changing. Trusting your gut begins with self-awareness. It requires quieting external noise, the opinions, pressures, and expectations of others, to listen deeply to your inner voice. This voice often manifests as a subtle feeling, a sense of tension or ease, or a small but persistent pull in a certain direction. People who ignore these signals often feel regret or frustration, sensing afterward that they missed the guidance their body and spirit were offering. Developing self-awareness through practices like journaling, meditation, or reflection strengthens this connection, making it easier to interpret intuitive signals accurately. Another key aspect of gut-based decision-making is understanding the difference between fear and intuition. Fear tends to feel heavy, anxious, and constrictive, often paralyzing decision-making. Intuition, on the other hand, feels calm, clear, and insistent, often nudging you toward the path that aligns with your values and purpose. Learning to distinguish between these feelings requires practice, patience, and honesty with yourself. By acknowledging fear without letting it dominate, and by listening to the quiet, confident voice within, you create a space where true guidance can emerge. The body is an important messenger in this process, Gut feelings are not metaphorical, they are literal physical responses. A sense of tightness, discomfort, or unease can signal that a choice is misaligned, while a feeling of lightness, ease, or excitement often indicates alignment. Paying attention to these bodily cues can help decode the messages of your intuition. The more you tune in to these sensations, the more confident you become in making decisions that honor both your emotional and spiritual well-being. Experience and reflection also sharpen gut instincts. Every choice we make teaches us about ourselves, our values, and our patterns of response. By reviewing past decisions, both the successes and the missteps, you can recognize how your intuition communicates and learn to trust it more reliably. Intuition is strengthened through action. The more you follow it thoughtfully, the clearer and stronger it becomes. Hesitation and overthinking can cloud this natural guidance, while trust and practice deepen it. Gut-based decision-making is also closely tied to authenticity. Choices that honor your true self resonate with your intuition, while those that conflict with your values often trigger unease. Aligning decisions with who you genuinely are ensures that your actions reflect integrity and purpose. Women and men who consistently act in alignment with their inner truth not only experience better outcomes, but also cultivate confidence and peace, knowing that their choices are grounded in authenticity rather than external pressure. Fear of making the wrong choice is a natural part of difficult decisions. However, trusting your gut does not guarantee a perfect outcome. It guarantees alignment with your inner truth. Even if circumstances change, acting in accordance with your intuition builds resilience, self-trust, and wisdom. Each decision guided by your inner compass strengthens your ability to navigate future challenges with clarity and confidence. Over time, the mind and spirit learn to collaborate, creating a seamless balance between rational analysis and intuitive insight. Spiritual connection enhances gut guidance. Many women and men find that prayer, meditation, or mindful reflection deepens their ability to trust inner signals. When you invite spiritual awareness into your decision-making, you tap into a broader wisdom that transcends fear, doubt, and confusion. This connection reinforces the feeling that you are not alone in navigating life's challenges, and that your intuition is a channel for divine guidance. It's also important to cultivate patience. Decisions that feel urgent or pressured can cloud intuition. Taking time to pause, reflect, and tune inward allows your inner guidance to become clearer. Trusting the process, rather than rushing toward a quick fix, ensures that your choices emerge from clarity rather than anxiety. Small actions, deliberate pauses, and mindful reflection create an environment where your intuition can speak and be heard with certainty. Ultimately, trusting your gut is about integrating mind, body, and spirit in decision-making. It is about listening carefully, differentiating between fear and intuition, honoring authenticity, and cultivating spiritual awareness. Women and men who master this practice navigate life's challenges with confidence, clarity, and peace. Knowing that even difficult choices are guided by a deeper wisdom, decisions become less about external validation and more about inner alignment, creating a life that feels purposeful, balanced, and profoundly satisfying. Your intuition is a gift, a compass designed to keep you aligned with your true path. Learning to trust it requires attention, practice, and courage, but the rewards are immeasurable. It transforms the way you approach life, relationships, career, and personal growth, ensuring that your actions reflect not just logic or obligation, but the authentic voice of your soul. This is the power of trusting your gut, the quiet, persistent, and unwavering guide that leads you toward your highest potential. This is how to respond powerfully. When people hurt you, life inevitably brings moments when others hurt, disappoint, or betray us. These experiences can leave deep emotional wounds, cloud our judgment, and even affect our physical and mental well-being. Yet, how we respond in these situations defines our character, shapes our relationships, and determines our inner peace. Responding powerfully is not about revenge, silence, or suppression. It is about reclaiming your energy, setting healthy boundaries, and expressing yourself with dignity and wisdom. Women and men who master this art understand that their response can either deepen pain or transform it into growth, clarity, and freedom. The first powerful response is to pause before reacting. In the heat of the moment, it is easy to respond impulsively, letting anger, frustration, or sadness dictate your actions. These reactive responses often escalate conflict and can create lasting regret. Instead, take a step back and allow yourself to breathe, reflect, and assess the situation. Pausing gives you control over your emotions, prevents impulsive mistakes, and allows clarity to surface. This deliberate practice ensures that your response comes from strength, not weakness, and aligns with your values rather than the heat of the moment. The second response is to set firm boundaries without guilt. People who hurt you often test limits, knowingly or unknowingly, and protecting your emotional and mental space is essential. Setting boundaries is a statement of self-respect. It communicates that you will not tolerate repeated mistreatment, manipulation, or toxicity. Boundaries do not require harshness or hostility, they require firmness and consistency. Whether it is limiting communication, asserting your needs clearly, or stepping away from harmful situations, boundaries protect your energy and preserve your peace. Women and men who practice this skill demonstrate strength without aggression, showing that true power lies in self-respect, not control over others. The third response is to respond with clarity, not vengeance. Addressing hurt directly, calmly, and assertively transforms conflict into understanding. Avoid passive aggression, sarcasm, or retaliatory behavior. These actions only perpetuate cycles of pain. Instead, communicate your feelings honestly and clearly, using I statements to express how their actions impacted you. For example, saying, "I felt hurt when," conveys your experience without attacking the other person. Responding with clarity empowers you to reclaim your voice while maintaining integrity and dignity. It also fosters accountability, giving the other person a chance to understand, apologize, or change their behavior. Another essential aspect of a powerful response is internal processing. Sometimes the most significant healing occurs within, away from confrontation. Take time to reflect on why the situation affected you deeply, what lessons it offers, and how you can prevent similar hurt in the future. Journaling, prayer, meditation, or talking with a trusted confidant can help you process emotions constructively. Internal processing transforms pain into insight, builds emotional resilience, and strengthens your capacity to handle future challenges with grace. Women and men who master this skill recognize that true power is not just in external actions, but also in inner strength and emotional intelligence. Equally important is choosing forgiveness when ready. Forgiveness is not about excusing wrong behavior or forgetting the hurt. It is about freeing yourself from the burden of resentment. Carrying anger or bitterness drains energy and prolongs suffering. Forgiveness releases that weight, allowing your heart and mind to heal. It is a conscious decision to let go, reclaim your power, and move forward. Those who practice forgiveness experience liberation, emotional freedom, and a renewed sense of peace, radiating a strength that transcends the pain inflicted by others. A powerful response also involves maintaining your peace and dignity publicly and privately. How you carry yourself after being hurt communicates your resilience and self-respect. Avoid gossip, vindictiveness, or public displays of anger. Instead, model grace and composure. People notice those who rise above conflict, and this composure strengthens your presence, influence, and credibility. Peaceful responses do not indicate weakness, they reflect mastery over emotions and a commitment to integrity. Lastly, recognize that every hurt carries a lesson and an opportunity for growth. Painful encounters reveal patterns in relationships, highlight areas where boundaries are needed, and teach patience, empathy, and discernment. Embracing this perspective transforms suffering into empowerment. Instead of becoming bitter or defensive, you become wiser, stronger, and more intentional in your interactions. Women and men who respond this way radiate confidence, emotional intelligence, and spiritual maturity, qualities that elevate them above negativity and preserve their energy for what truly matters. In conclusion, responding powerfully to people who hurt you is a combination of self-awareness, emotional mastery, and deliberate action. Pausing before reacting, setting boundaries, responding with clarity, processing internally, practicing forgiveness, maintaining dignity, and embracing growth are essential steps in reclaiming your energy and preserving peace. True power is not in retaliation. It is in the ability to remain aligned with your values, protect your spirit, and transform pain into wisdom. Those who cultivate this approach navigate life's challenges with confidence, resilience, and grace, inspiring others by example. When you respond in these ways, hurt no longer has the power to control you. You reclaim authority over your life, maintain your inner peace, and emerge stronger, wiser, and more compassionate. This is the essence of a powerful response, one that transforms adversity into strength, anger into understanding, and pain into a pathway to personal growth and spiritual maturity. This is how God warns you about hurtful people. Life is filled with encounters that can uplift us or drain us, and often the most challenging experiences come from people who bring hurt into our lives. While some of these interactions are unavoidable, there is a higher wisdom at work guiding us, a divine hand that seeks to protect our hearts, minds, and spirits. God warns us about people who may cause harm, not through grand gestures or loud signs, but subtly through feelings, circumstances, and gentle nudges designed to awaken our discernment. Understanding and recognizing these warnings is a spiritual skill that can save us from unnecessary pain, guiding us toward healthier relationships and greater peace. One of the first ways God warns you about hurtful people is through inner unease and gut feelings. Often, when someone carries hidden motives or will eventually bring harm, your spirit senses it before your mind fully comprehends. That small voice of discomfort, that sense of tension or dread in your presence, is a divine alert designed to protect you. Women and men who learn to trust these feelings avoid the pitfalls of ignoring warning signs. This inner nudging is subtle, persistent, and personal. It is your spiritual radar signaling that careful discernment is needed before fully engaging with someone. Another powerful indicator is the repetition of negative experiences. God often uses circumstances as a messenger. If certain patterns keep emerging, constant criticism, manipulation, betrayal, or disrespect, they are not mere coincidences. These repeated challenges are meant to draw your attention to people who may not have your best interests at heart. Recognizing these patterns requires reflection and honesty. It demands that you step back and view relationships objectively. Divine guidance uses these experiences as a tool to refine your discernment, helping you identify who deserves your energy and trust. Emotional exhaustion is another subtle warning from God. People who drain your joy, evoke anxiety, or leave you feeling diminished after interactions are sending clear signals that they are not aligned with your well-being. Spiritually attuned individuals notice these shifts in energy and take them seriously. It is a divine prompt to protect your mental and emotional health. Ignoring these feelings can lead to prolonged suffering, but heeding them allows you to make conscious choices about the boundaries you set and the relationships you maintain. God also warns us through the words and actions of others. Sometimes, hurtful people reveal themselves through inconsistency, dishonesty, or subtle manipulation. Repeated signs such as broken promises, disrespect, or condescending behavior are often not accidents. They are part of the divine curriculum teaching you discernment. Observing these patterns, rather than brushing them off as minor inconveniences, allows you to respond wisely. The goal is not to judge harshly, but to recognize truth early, protect your spirit, and make informed decisions about who deserves your time and trust. Spiritual nudges can also appear as delays, obstacles, or redirects in life. God may close doors or redirect your path to prevent encounters that could bring harm. Missing an opportunity or facing unexpected challenges can feel frustrating initially, but often these events are protective measures. They prevent you from engaging with people who would bring unnecessary pain or derail your growth. Learning to see these moments as divine guidance rather than setbacks transforms your perspective, allowing patience and trust to replace confusion and regret. Another essential signal is conflict with your inner values or intuition. Hurtful people often push against your integrity, values, or peace. This tension is a divine warning. If a relationship constantly requires you to compromise your sense of self, it is likely misaligned with your spiritual path. God's guidance encourages self-respect, reminding you that your boundaries are sacred and that honoring them protects your soul. Recognizing when someone challenges your core principles allows you to step back before harm escalates, creating space for healthier connections. Prayer, meditation, and reflection amplify this awareness. When you tune your spirit to divine guidance, you become more sensitive to these subtle warnings. God's communication is often quiet, relying on the heart, intuition, and circumstances rather than overt signs. Those who cultivate a regular spiritual practice notice the patterns more clearly, gaining clarity about who to trust and who to approach with caution. This heightened discernment is not born of fear but of spiritual attunement, a protective gift that fosters peace and wisdom. Finally, God warns us about hurtful people through the responses of trusted mentors, friends, or loved ones. Sometimes, the people around us see patterns or intentions that are hidden from our immediate perception. These gentle nudges, advice, or cautions are instruments of divine care, guiding us towards safety and wisdom. Heeding counsel from those who truly care often prevents unnecessary suffering and reinforces our capacity for discernment. In conclusion, God's warnings about hurtful people are multifaceted, flowing through intuition, repeated experiences, emotional signals, conflicting values, redirected paths, and the counsel of loved ones. Recognizing and acting on these signs requires spiritual awareness, patience, and courage. It is not about fear or isolation, but about protecting your heart, cultivating inner peace, and fostering relationships that honor your dignity and well-being. Women and men who heed these warnings gain resilience, clarity, and freedom from unnecessary pain. They learn to navigate life with wisdom, knowing that divine guidance surrounds them, directing them toward relationships and experiences that uplift, nurture, and align with their highest purpose. By tuning into these subtle signs, trusting your intuition, and honoring your spiritual compass, you become empowered to act with discernment, compassion, and strength. This is how God guides you, showing you who to embrace, who to guard against, and how to walk through life with grace, wisdom, and unwavering confidence.